What's up? Jeff Moore's Think International. We're talking leadership with Devan Wakerley, children's pastor of Hillsong, Australia. Check it out. Now, people look at Hillsong and think, wow, massive church, huge, everyone wants to go there, be a part of everything going on and whatnot, but oftentimes with a bigger church, they just become bigger problems. And for children's pastors in particular, finding leaders, keeping leaders motivated, and just keeping leaders in general is difficult, but how do you do it on a larger scale?
Every problem scales up. So if you're at a church where you need 5 leaders, and you're starting out a church plant, whatever, that's going to scale up to us, and we're going to need 50, right? So it's the need just scales up. You're never going to close the doors to volunteers, especially for us. The big secret with us, it's not even really a secret, but we as a ministry are part of a big church who we've got a lot of philosophy behind our serving. We really encourage people to serve in a service and sit in a service, a bit like Mary and Martha. And alongside that, we've got all these ways that you can volunteer. So we don't try and reinvent the wheel when we're getting people to volunteer. We just kind of, whenever the church is going for a bit of a drive for volunteers, whenever a season of maybe needing more volunteers, we're just going to go along with the church. It's basically just rolling with your church. Sure. That's the way I've always looked at it. And you just take the emphasis and you take the momentum that's building when we're looking about leaders, and we like when we want leaders, we'll just work with the church. And you also work with the church's philosophy, and you just try and be as far as in step as you can with your church's volunteering philosophy. And then inside that, there's a bit of a process. To become a Hillsong Kids leader, it's not just a waltz in and say, I'm up for it. We've got obviously a background check. In Australia is a little bit different than I know around the world, but there's the government takes care of background checks and police checks and all that kind of side to it is obviously a given for us. And the form fills out, and there's some serious questions on there, and we put those serious questions on there just about their past. Is there anything from your past that would stop you from working with kids or cause embarrassment if it came out into the light? Stuff like this that really just acts as, first of all, a deterrent to any would-be predator who would like to prey on our children.
Right, and that's important at any level of size of your church, whatnot.
You need, if you're the first day in your new church plant, you need that in place. Yeah. So we've got that whole process, but alongside that is this idea, we're setting a high bar here. If you want to become part of this ministry, we're not asking for your life, but we're asking for one service a weekend, basically. We've got a lot of people who do different levels, but the basic level, in our city campus where I'm based, we've got 8 services currently. It's very easy for you to come and find one and serve in one. So we say we would love you to be part of a connect group, which is our small groups at our church. Even if you're not, are you willing to get into one in the future? Right. That's the question. It's like, okay, great, you're not in one now, but do you want to be in one? And if the answer is no, then you really want to look at that and go, hey, listen, it's really part of our church. Maybe you want to just sit for a while and then come back when you're ready to be a part of the bigger picture. Because we want everyone in a small group and just sitting in a service and serving. That's the bottom line. For sure. And then we've got so much opportunity in our church that, and it is different, I'll admit, from a church that has one service. You have to have a different approach. You have to have maybe one off, one on. I don't know how it works there, but maybe just pray for your church to start 2 services as soon as possible. That's what I reckon. Right.
And then you'd say that keeps them motivated, being actually a part of the church.
Definitely. You don't lose your passion, your vision. The wider church has to speak into what we're doing as a children's ministry. We're not separate. I don't even like naming our ministry things that would infer it's a different ministry, like a club. It's not a club. It's not a different group, a team or whatever. It's just when we go to church, this is what we do. And so I know children's ministries love a good name. You can spend weeks trying to figure out a name for your ministry. For me, as much as possible, I try and emphasize the fact that this is what we do as a church. This is not a special new different thing that you do like we're running here. Now, there are some things that are that. If we're running a midweek small groups or something, those become an entity into themselves. But on weekend services, church is Hillsong Kids.
That's awesome.
So thanks so much for watching this video. Man, if you want more videos like this, Think International, church, leadership, and creative content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have any thoughts or anything, leave them in the comments below. And hit the like button and add this video to your favorites so you can check it out later. And most of all, for more information, go to thinkintl.tv, our website. That's thinkintl.tv, and we'll talk soon.